but now it should just work. Like every time I've swapped the stream key, it's just like, yeah, we suddenly work perfectly fine. Yeah, just went live, instantaneous, no notes, just working. Okay. So now I should be able to see those comments. I should be able to see those comments. And now if I hit go live over here, then I get this cute little pop-up that covers up everything. Is really annoying. But I can put it there. And I can drag this down. And now I have all my chats. Perfect. Somewhat. Oh well. It's a screen full of information. That worked perfectly. Thank you. Okay. How are we all doing today? I am exhausted. I played D&D yesterday in a mall with 1,000 other people in the same D&D session. So I'm a little exhausted today, but that doesn't change the fact that I wanted to live stream and I wanted to play some games. So I'm gonna grab my controller and put a game up there. I was gonna slide my chair under my desk, but I just realized one of my cats is under the desk. So that would have been tragic. How is everyone doing today? Yes, all of the points right there are things I genuinely believe about AI. Just in case anyone was wondering, because constantly I always get like people going, "Oh, you're just saying that to rage bait." I'm like, no, this is genuinely things I say about AI. Okay, let's move this over the screen. Is that out or is it pre-purchase? Okay, it comes out on the 22nd. I'm adding that to my wish list. Okay. I think I'm just gonna play some Deep Rock Galactic Survivor right now. Am I just on Twitch, TikTok, or am I also on Twitch? I'm on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube is my personal preference. You guys do you. And I'm also live on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. How you guys doing over there? Since it's Sunday and I want to play some games, I'm just like, okay, let's talk about AI while I play some games. Which one is the one I want to go with? Oh, okay, that's what the downside is of this one. Red sugar heals for less. Oh, I forgot to turn on my other light. I'm just like, why is it dimmer in here for some reason? There we go. Thoughts on manual coding? It's still very much relevant. Like, so if you talk to people who have been in the industry for a while and are coders, you will quickly find out that like they tend to avoid AI generated stuff um because they realize the issues with it. So for one thing, people who are vibe coding don't tend to check their work, or at least don't usually check their work. They just go, "Oh, let's see if this works," and then just implement it from there if it works. And so they're putting code they don't actually understand and they don't know the security risks of into production and just going with that. And so right now, what we're probably going to need more of in the industry over time is people who will review code and actually double check the things that are in code. So, yeah, it's going like I did a video where I talked about how in the next 10 to 20 years like that's going to be the major thing I predict is we're going to have an issue with is we're going to have to go through a lot of old code that is from the vibe coding era. Like people over the next 2 decades will be going over code and going, "Oh crap, this is vibe coded." And then they'll have to pretty much revise the entire code from there because they won't know what exactly is vibe coded. I was at a convention yesterday. I should not be getting con cred already. I'm doing good. How are you guys doing? Let's see. Oh yeah, the Baja Blast. I'm just like, so my throat's got a little bit of a tingle in it, so I have the Baja Blast. I need to wake up, so I have a caramel Cobain from Java Junkie. One of my favorite coffee places. Not my number one coffee place. That place is near and dear to my heart. Java Junkie is probably my second. They are fantastic. And their food is to die for. Oh my gosh. I had to hold myself back from getting food there because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get Taco Bell because cheaper. But I mean, heck, I think I paid the same amount for my Taco Bell that I did for the drink. So there's no shot that every. Are you trying to say engineer? What is SWE? Why does I was at what convention was it called? I posted a video about it. Conclash, I think is the name of it. It literally holds the record for most people in a D&D campaign at the same time. Because it was 1,200 and something people in the session in 2023. This year it was smaller. It was only a little over 1,000. It was like 1,058 or something like that. I can't remember the exact number. But yeah, it was super fun. Most vibe coding is better than most human coding. Not really, because you don't actually know what's in the code. AI is only able to mimic humans. So if you're basing it off of humanity, you still have issues. If you're an AI expert, then what's this AI thing? I never claimed to be an AI expert. It's not my job. But I don't have to be an expert to point out the obvious issues that it's causing. I always love that. Like, no matter what live stream I'm doing, if I'm answering tech questions or if I'm talking about AI, there's always someone who's just like, if you don't know this very specific thing in this industry, then you have no right to speak on it. It's like, whatever bullshit. Most developers disagree with you. Uh, I would love for you to bring any of those developers in here because my mod team is developers. My friends are developers. I live in Utah where there's a lot of developers. There's 5 different developer programs in my city. Like educational programs to get people to be developers. I think you're talking out your ass. Like there's a lot of people who like using AI for vibe coding. And it can be a good educational tool for you to learn how to code. But at the same time, it doesn't replace human coders and it introduces its own issues. Oh, this is the one where I need to stand still for 45 seconds. Okay, I can do that. I just want to find some of the stuff that I need. And I found some of it. It's right here. So if I hold still right here for a second, so it drops a turret. And then I come down here. It should drop another turret, like right on top of me. Yep. Okay, let me get that, and then I'm going to dig a tunnel to right here. Okay. I'm going to see if my character can stand still for 45 seconds. I don't think I can because these guys are coming through this wall here. Okay, we're going to leave. Do I feel like companies are beginning to offer less remote IT and cybersecurity jobs? I don't think cybersecurity jobs have gone downhill from what I've seen, but they've been offering less remote jobs. Because the stupid, weird work culture where they're just like, you have to be here in person or else we don't know that you're getting work done, even though we can literally quantify the fact that you're getting work done. Like, I seriously, like, it's just a control. Like, it's just them trying to hold on to control of their employees and thinking that if they have their employees in the room with them, then their employees are going to do more. When no, we've actually seen the data and we can quantify that a lot of remote work is better. It's just exhausting. It's a bunch of rich people trying to tell non-rich people to trust them as they screw people over. Oh, Munjin, say what you said earlier about developers liking AI and using AI. Zoe, I think you'll like their comment. You better know how to agentic code. So we're trying to make agent into a adjective. You might want to run that one by AI because you shoehorn that in so badly. Okay. Someone asked me about the bubble, so I need to pull up my source document or my source window. I haven't actually plugged this stuff into a document yet, and I should. It's a bubble in what way? Okay, so if we pull up this right here, this is my favorite example of showing how it's a bubble. How people invest in things. So if you look at this graph right here, this is for the company Allbirds. You don't know who Allbirds are. They make shoes. A lot of people wore these shoes, like famous people wore these shoes for a while, and that's how they kind of got big. It's because a lot of famous people wore them. But their stock's been kind of not doing great for a while. Like, see, it's kind of plateaued after their IPO. Like, it went down and just held. But then, earlier this year, back in April, they made an announcement. Hey, we're going to rent out GPUs for companies to use in AI. And do you know what happened the day they made that little bit of an announcement? That spike right there. That was a direct reaction by the market and investors when they said, we're going to rent out GPUs. Oddly enough, I haven't looked today, but 3 days ago when I was looking, There's been nothing from them about that GPU project because they had to get permission from their board. And it seems like their board didn't like the idea of getting rid of pretty much their company's motto in order to do this. Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I say it's a bubble, is when you see investments act like this, usually that's more bubble like. It's not always, but like especially when it's about buzzwords like AI, LLMs, data centers, you see more investments like this. You saw it a few years ago with like cryptocurrencies and like NFTs and things like that. A company would announce, "Oh, we're going to add cryptocurrency or blockchain to our company," having no tech behind it. Just the word blockchain added to a company would see a spike like this. You also saw this in the dot-com bubble. The other reason I consider it a bubble is because most of the money that is being used in building out the AI stuff and most of the money that these companies have is being traded between them. It's mostly just all of them in a giant circle handing each other money. It's not really money coming from the outside, making it so they're actually earning money. No, it's all just trades within each other. And so that's why I consider it a bubble. Using a shoe company to show the AI bubble. Yeah, because this is a prime example of bubble-like investments. This is a shoe company. So why the fuck would they suddenly have a bunch of people investing in them and a lot of people overvaluing what they can do when they announce that they might rent out GPUs? This is literally a reaction to them saying, "We think we're going to rent out GPUs for AI," and people invested. No actual process for them to rent out these GPUs. They couldn't even do it because of the rules of their own business that they would have to change. And people invested like this. Yeah, no, that's why it shows it's a bubble. Let's see, what other comments have rolled in? Yeah, like seriously, like this also should be mostly concerning to people because most of the money that's involved in AI is not actual revenue. It's investments. Okay, Munjin, what do you mean by SWE? You're using an acronym instead of just spelling out what you're saying. Why is he using an acronym for software engineer? That feels so pointless. You haven't even come close to hitting the character limit with your comments that you've been using SWE in. Like, I have multiple other comments on screen that are longer than your one where you put SWE. Also, there's an easier term for software engineer called developers. It's shorter. Yeah, I know it's a common acronym, but at the same time, it's a dumb acronym to use. Like, we don't even need the term software engineers most of the time. We just use developers. Munjin, I have a book that literally goes over the acronyms used in tech. Do you know how many mean multiple things. Acronyms in tech is one of the most ridiculous and dumb things on the face of the planet. Do you want an example of it being dumb? There's self-referential acronyms. Like PHP is one of my all-time favorites. Do you know what PHP stands for? PHP stands for PHP Hypertext Pre-Programming. I want to say it's pre-programming. Come on. Where is preprocessor? Not pre-programming. Preprocessor. PHP stands for PHP Hypertext Preprocessor. That is so dumb. And there's multiple acronyms like that. At no point should we be just relying on acronyms when it's not useful. Do you use AI daily? Not usually. I don't find a use for AI daily. Yeah, recursive acronyms are so dumb. Department of War Crimes, what am I behind on? Or are you saying that's someone else? Wine is not an emulator is another good one. What is the thing that I need to use AI daily for? What will AI solve in my daily life? I can show you what harm it'll do. Toxic terror. What false equivalency did I make? I don't tend to have to review log files, and most log files that I review, I have other tools that will be able to find what I need from a log file. I don't see a reason to use AI daily in cybersecurity. I would not use AI for writing tools. I would not use AI for scripting tools for videos that I produce. Oh, do you want to go outside? Okay, let me move this while I'm waiting for chat to say things. I agree that there's benefits to using AI, but there's massive harm that people tend to ignore. Like, one of the reasons I genuinely will not sit there using AI every single day, because the more you use AI, the less your brain actually does. And so your brain just stops doing. Like, genuinely, we have studies on it now. Thoughts on Utah's data center? I live in Utah. I'm working with different organizations who are against it, made up of people from Utah and Box Elder County. Yeah, that's a very good point right there. The future is overseeing AI instead of using your brain. Like that's what we're going to run into is people who aren't using their brain even more and more and more. My day's been pretty good. I am exhausted today because I had a big event yesterday, and I just want to sit down and relax and finish watching Project Hail Mary on my sixth rewatch now. Okay, Toxic Terror, then take up your issue with MIT and their study. The study is on the screen showing that AI use, the more you use it, the less you use your brain. And so your actual thought process becomes weaker. They did the study was early 2025. Okay, does that change the findings of the study? And also, the study is still ongoing. They're constantly updating the study. Hence why they have an active updating website of the study and continuing research. Like, have we checked this week to find out if taking something sharp and putting it through your hand still does harm? Because apparently we need to check that every single week now. Do you invest at all? Yes, I have a retirement fund that I invest, and I tell my what's it called? My money managers what to invest in. Science can change, hence why we continuously research things like what's on the screen. Am I invested in tech/AI? Not currently, because I am frustrated with companies that keep trying to shoehorn AI into everything and keep doing damage because of it. Chill. You do realize that these are tabs that I have open every single time I stream, and I constantly check for updates on them, right? The thing you're telling me to do is literally what I do. You literally just said you didn't. I literally said I didn't do what? I said this is an ongoing study. I never said I stopped looking at the study is open on my computer. I don't check it every single week because there's some weeks I don't bother doing stuff with AI because I'm burnt out on it and exhausted from it. I have reviewed more than one study on this. This is the one that summarizes it the best. Like literally throughout these tabs, I have multiple different studies I refer to. This is just the one that summarizes the effects on the brain the best. And also comes from MIT. So when people get mad at me for the other sources I use, usually they don't get mad at me for MIT. Toxic Terror. What bias do I have? What's my bias? Hey, Toxic Terror, where the fuck on the screen or during this live stream did I say that AI is bad? I get it. You really like AI, and so you use it a lot, so you can't bother reading. Toxic Terror, where is it written that AI is bad? Let me help you out. Since it seems like you have an issue with being able to read, AI LLMs are harmful, greed driven, and a bubble. I'm sorry, but I don't see where you're reading the word bad. Toxic Terror, you said I wrote the word bad. Where is the word bad written? I'm not getting mad. I'm getting disappointed because you don't seem to know how to read. You said I used the word bad. Where is the word bad? I picked the word harmful because it's directly harmful. The harm is on the screen currently. The harm also comes from the data centers that are being built out because the US has been doing it in a harmful way. You do realize I can get heated without being mad, right? I think that's my other favorite thing is the amount of people who are like, "You're so mad." I'm like, "No, I'm animated because guess what? Me being animated on a live stream gets me more views." You've been using AI for 4 hours today. I recommend looking up the MIT study on the effects of AI on the human brain, especially overuse of it. Like, I love how I have one of my mods in here so they can attest. Zoe, do you think I'm genuinely mad? Do you think I'm genuinely upset? Or have you watched enough of these live streams to know I'm animated because it's fun? There we go. And Maddie just hopped in to also mention that I'm not mad. Oh no, my microphone stand is coming off the desk. Yeah, I want to be able to use LLMs more for the actual tools that they are and what they actually are capable of in a proper way. But currently in the US, big companies are making that harder and harder. Yeah, see, even other creators on this platform are just like, yeah, no, it's being animated. You guys realize I filmed videos where I threw stuff at the camera because it was funny. I should release the rest of that take because I have multiple videos where I throw like the scam device at the camera and nail it. And then I literally just burst out laughing after it. Because yes, it's frustrating beyond belief to see scam devices, but I also know being animated and having fun in my videos is what people actually want to see. Not everything in the US is greed driven. Some of it is competition driven, but there's also things in the US that are socially driven. Like a good example of that is the Artemis 2 mission. That's more scientifically driven than greed driven. Me throwing a micro SD card at a camera is committing violence. Bill, it seems like you are just really upset that someone says that there's downsides of AI. And now you're trying to find a reason to be upset with me as a person. Throwing things now equals violence. Okay, I'll go let the baseball team that plays near my house know that they're committing violence. Zoe had the same exact thought. You're not calling bullshit though, Shill. You're making bullshit up. Nah, bro. I'm just calling bullshit. You're not. You said throwing things is violence. Most sports in the US are based on throwing things. So, baseball is a violent sport. Like, when played fully by the rules, baseball is a violent sport. Also, Shill, where on my screen does it say that all LLMs are bad? Yeah, no, I'm not playing baseball. I'm filming a video to get people to watch it. So I'm going to be animated and have clips in it that people want to watch more than once. Oh, people are ridiculous. Come on, come in. Come in. Come in. She's just going to sit there for a minute. Throwing items is violent. So again, we go back to baseball. Baseball is a violent sport, in your opinion. Who was the violence against in this circumstance? Right? No, this is entertaining to me. I'm like genuinely entertained. Yeah, no, honestly, two people just mentioned the same thing at the same time, talking about GitHub and yeah, LLMs, vibe coding, and all of that have GitHub has become trash so quickly. I do not know of a current LLM that would fall outside of what I'm saying. Honestly. Because like even if you go with LLMs that you host at your home, the training in order to use that LLM to create that LLM still requires the stuff that is on the screen. It still requires the bubble to be there because you need it to be trained by a business, usually using a data center that was using greed driven metrics to create the LLM that you're using. Like, I agree, self hosting an LLM is a fairly cool thing. It's very useful. You can find good uses for AI, but the top down model that we are using inherently is bad. Even if you train it yourself in the micro data center you're using is solar powered, you're still generating a massive amount of heat. And because you're creating one yourself that has already probably been created and it's free use out in the world, you're adding heat for no reason at that point. Like, I tend not to get after anyone who self hosts an LLM. Like, I self host 3 currently, because I think I took the 4th one offline. But like that's the thing. Whenever I do this live stream, so many people hop in with, well, you're talking about local models, and my local model doesn't do all of these things. So you're talking about local models and you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, guys, I'm usually not talking about local models. But if you want me to actually talk about local models, I'll point out the harm in those too, because they still fall under all of the harm that's here. I just tend to not talk about local models because that's not the biggest harm. If you keep pushing well, I'm doing a local model, so you're wrong, I'm going to push back because it's exhausting at a certain point. I can only say I'm not talking about local models so many times before I'm just like, fine, I'll tell you how your bullshit local model isn't actually helping you. It's actually just diminishing the world. Or do you want me to go back to the friendly, I don't mind you using your local models and I'm not going to speak about that? We can go back to that. Hey, Shill, you know how while you were typing that, I was talking about how there's a bigger harm and I'm focusing on the biggest harm? I know it's hard for you to actually open your ears and listen to what other people are saying, even if they're not your chatbot that you listen to all the time. AI is good because it makes money. There we go. We go to the greed-driven one. Yeah, the Utah data center is going to be, it's still going to be a massive fight because, like, even though the citizens don't want it, there has been so much work on the back end to get it, even if the citizens didn't want it, that now it's even more of a fight for the citizens, and the politicians are going, crap, we backed the wrong horse and now we're going to get screwed by this. I wish we didn't work the past 18 months to put forward legislation that would make it easier for them to build this data center because we knew it was coming. Like literally the Utah legislature has been working on the back end to put things in place so the data center would have an easier time being built and not have to go through most of the checks that would stop it. I need to switch this multi-chat to only have the non-TikTok ones. Yeah, exactly. Do it all. Shill, thank you so much for the engagement. You have been very helpful. You want me to open the window again? Okay, she's gonna take her time jumping up there. I'm waiting for my cat to fully leave the window before I shut it fully. Are you just gonna hang out right there? I'm waiting for her to go outside and explore a little bit so I can close that window and put the fan in front of it because good lord it is warm. The irony of the topic, well, on a platform that heavily uses LLMs and AI. Okay, what LLMs and AI am I using? Fubar. What services of AI and LLMs am I actively using right now to make this live stream? Or is it just the platform? So I should get rid of my platform completely because it's on a platform that uses those? Or is it just another one of those bullshit, you can't be socialist in a capitalist system unless you give up everything you own talking points? Are we going with those stupid talking points? Fubar, you just said something. Where did I say bad? You got one chance, Fubar. Tell me where I said bad. Let's see if you can find the word bad being said by me about AI. I'll wait. Your topic says harmful. That's weird. That's a different word. Fubar, Fubar, do you realize the word harmful has more letters than the word bad? Fubar, you're the one that said I used the word bad. You're the one who brought up semantics. That doesn't say bad. That says harmful. On the screen is a study of the actual harm. I don't say AI is bad because AI has good uses. I'll, so usually, someone asked if open source local AI is still as bad. I would never say the word bad, honestly. Like, I try to be more specific. There might be times that I might say bad when talking about like a stupid fucking data center built in Utah because at every level of that, it's bad. It's literally a bad person coming in thinking people are going to be too dumb to realize what he's doing. Um, but honestly, I don't try to criticize open source local AI like and LLM systems because they're not really the biggest problem. There's still problems that come with them, and a lot of the problems I talk about with large language models still happen because of those. But I'm not going to criticize that because that's not really the major issue. Oh yeah, generative AI is extremely horrifying in how harmful it is because it's stealing art from other people. I forgot to put my keys away. Yeah. Bump the entire table as I come back over here. Okay, let me grab my keyboard really quick. Because Fubar is trying to say that bad and harmful have the same meaning. So let's just pull this out right here. We'll go with Merriam-Webster. Is that an okay one to go with, Fubar? Or do you want me to use a different dictionary? That's weird. Hey, Fubar, the definition of bad and harmful are both on the screen, and they don't have the same definition. Yeah, just because something is a synonym does not mean they have the same definition. They are similar words. People don't seem to know what synonyms are. They were muted for harassment. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, I have kind of stopped with debunking the scam products on TikTok because for one thing I've seen your videos and I'm like, you've got this. I can take a step back from the most stressful thing I've ever done on TikTok. Uh, and also at the same time, I'm just like, it's not even creators making videos about it anymore. The company is just making a bunch of accounts and doing generative AI. Yeah. Oh yeah, no. Sonder has a very good point. Like the US is betting that large language models will take us into the future and solve all our problems. And so we're willing to let them cause a bunch of problems. Honestly, the other reason I stopped giving a crap about the scam drives and things like that is because the companies will never stop. Um, because I got rid of one company that was promoting, like selling scam devices. Legitimately, the company shut down. And then they reincorporated under a new name and now they're back. You know the ones that are the micro SD cards? Yeah, the company that was producing and selling those, I helped make sure was no longer a thing. And then they're back under a new name. And like the other thing that got me exhausted with it is my client, like one of my clients whose computer is literally sitting here on my desk right now. This client, I've had videos where I show off her computer frequently. She's gotten conned by those scam devices. And so it's just, it's exhausting. Yeah, Joe, that's the exhausting part of it is no matter what I do, all that's going to happen is they will shut down, rebrand, and come back. Because they're making money hand over fist. Like most of these devices, they're selling them for like $20, cost them like $3. So they're making a ton of money, and so they can throw a ton of money at it. Like I'll still probably post videos talking about these scam products and trying to warn people, but trying to stop creators from promoting them, like even still, I get about 4 videos a day from creators promoting them. And like I try commenting, hey, this is a scam device. They don't care. They ignore all comments. And so it's pointless to me. And honestly, it's just made me kind of jaded about other content creators, especially on TikTok, because like when you don't care about your audience at all, you're okay with scamming your audience and you ignore the comments telling you, hey, this is a scam. Um, if you look on the TikTok shop for like USB drives, most of the top results are scam devices. It's also why if you look at my profile on TikTok, there's no TikTok shop on there because like most shops on TikTok are worse than LLMs in my opinion because they actively are destroying the creator ecosystem. Brands on TikTok do not want to pay content creators. They want to give content creators a $50 product in exchange for like 3 to 5 videos. And it's just like I have a manager I like I've put money into being a content creator. I have a manager. We work on getting me brand deals, things like that. And our discussions are about how bad some of the deals through TikTok Shop are. Like a brand, I took a brand off of my wall because they sent me a device and they were expecting 5 videos for that device. It's it's painful and disgusting. Like, yeah. It's no wonder content creators are dropping like flies. Oh yeah, and then you have the content like why is it okay? I'm going to complain about content creators for a second. Why do I constantly see so many content creators who are sub 20,000 followers on TikTok who every one of their videos is, hey guys, let's look at this new product that's on the TikTok shop and you guys are going to love. Like, why is it? Yeah. I genuinely, so at some point soon, I want to sit down with other like content creators of vastly different sizes because I remember being a content creator with like sub 10,000 followers and like talking with bigger content creators than me and being like just chatting and things like that. And that type of stuff is one of the best things for content creators, being able to chat with each other. And I want to do like a podcast where we talk about the things that drive us nuts the most because I want that to be something that can give content creators hope and give people insight into the content creator ecosphere. What do I mean by scam USB drives? I'll go grab the box of them. It's not even one box, it's 2 boxes. I have 2 boxes of these things. I need to get a new USB cable because I've gotten it so my camera is more centered, has a better view, and like is out of my way more when I'm live streaming. I just need to. There's a USB C cable going from the computer over there to this thing. I need a slightly longer cable. So this is what I mean by scam USB drives. And I'm probably going to move some stuff on my desk so I can show you easier. But like, let me move non-scam USB drives over there. And my lunch, which probably will not get to very soon. Okay. So, oh, let me also flip this around so I can see how my desk looks right now. There we go. Okay, so these are some of the scam drives that I've gotten. Like, one of the most common that people see. This is one of the most common that people will recognize from the TikTok shop. This is a micro SD card that claims to be a terabyte. It is 32 gigabytes of space, pretending to be a terabyte. Then these ones, a lot of people have seen, and they actually sent me a terabyte one because I complained. So, seen this drive a lot across TikTok, even like AI versions of it. They now have a different end on this side. I think it's a USB-C. Um, but yeah, so inside this drive, if I take this apart, there's a micro SD card right there. that claims to be a terabyte. No, that is 128 gigabytes. When I pointed this out to the company, they sent me a replacement one that was actually a terabyte micro SD card in there. And because they sent me one that actually had a terabyte, I could see part of their scam. Also, give me a second. TikTok is saying I'm inactive, so it's having me do a puzzle. Hey, it actually worked first time. Usually it doesn't. So if you look at these two boxes, you might notice that their labels are slightly different. They slightly make their labels different so they can tell which one is the scam and which one isn't. So the non-scam one doesn't have TB for terabyte. It just has T. This one, even when I open it up, they tried to glue it together. So like all along the side there's a little bit of like that little bit of shininess. That is the old glue that they put in there to make it so I couldn't open this one as easily. To get at the micro SD card to find out they actually put a terabyte one in there. I should find out how flammable they are. That sounds like fun. This one is also a scam. I'm trying to remember what size. I think this one was 32 gigabytes. Then be a terabyte. This is a portable SSD that boasts being a terabyte. Oh, 2 terabytes. This is a 2 terabyte one. Trying to remember how I got this one open. Because I got this one open and it is also a micro SD card, I want to say. Yeah, I would use a hammer, but I want them to go back together. There's one that I did a lot of damage to trying to open. This one right here. This one is like epoxied in. And like I've taken tools to it and you can see like a little bit of the broken plastic right there. This was one of the early ones that I showed was a scam. This one didn't actually use a micro SD card. It was just like a very small drive. Like I've gone through and like rigorously tested all of these for speed and actual reliability and how much storage space they have. I put a lot of work into this project. I think I used a heat gun on that one too, and it didn't actually do much. Because I have a heat gun, and then there's these ones, the orange packaging ones. These ones are fairly common on the TikTok shop. Like, anytime you see one where it's just like, oh yeah, you can plug this drive into multiple different devices. It has like every type of plug on there. Those are easy to spot as a scam because the way that they work is literally it's a micro SD card in an adapter. And that's how they actually work. Yeah, I have so many of these at this point. And I've gotten refunds for most of them because I'm able to prove that they're a scam. And so the TikTok shop would send me a refund and then I would use that money to buy another one. Do they even work? Technically they work, but they don't hold the advertised space. And they fake holding that amount of space. So your files will be lost if you use them too much. Kahaz, can you tell me where I said AI is going away? Because you hopped in and said, well, AI isn't going away. Why do you think that I think that? Also, Matt, yes. I'm just slightly avoiding answering your questions because it's possible you know me. And I don't want you saying my name or anything like that. At least not yet. I'm close to the point where I'm okay with people knowing my name. Some of those scam ones, you can use the reader as an actual micro SD card reader, but some of them you can't because they've gotten smart as we've been testing them and as tests have become more common. They actually have the firmware on the reader and on the SD card to get past tests easier. Kahaz, where did I say AI is going away? I know you're jumping to another thing, but I asked you a very specific question. If you don't want to actually engage, then you can either go away or be muted. But if you're going to make a statement, back up what you say. Because you're now going, as a project manager in IT, if you're not using AI, you're going to be behind, man. Don't make me not use my precious AI. That's what you sound like right now. What if we use AI for good purposes? I mean, we can use AI and large language models for good purposes, but the way in which they're created and they're being pushed out, it's still usually a negative. Like, even if they have a positive behind it, it's usually a net negative still, just because of how the US is going about it. Man, you are so aggressive. Have you watched the comments? Because I give the commenters time to actually respond to what I ask. And then when they don't and they jump onto another topic to try to make themselves feel more right, I'm going to call them out. Because it's a social engineering tactic that is dumb. It works on quite a few people, but it's a dumb tactic. Kahaz, you're the one who mentioned anything about AI going away. Nowhere on screen do I have it say that AI is going away. You're the one who came up with that. So I would love for you to either have an actual honest conversation or actually realize that you made up a straw man that you could debunk. I also let my mods use their discretion of who they're going to mute and things like that because some people do hop in and are just annoying about it. Right. So accept that AIs are going to be harmful. And what's the point of this whole stream? To educate people about the harms of AI so that we actually do it better because AI doesn't have to be harmful. There are ways to actually go about it where it's less harmful. When we actually take out the investment factor of AI, then it's actually going to be less harmful. But currently, big companies are using it as a massive investment and then promoting it as this wonder thing that solves every issue when it doesn't actually solve every issue. And so companies are pushing it on their employees until their employees get fed up and make their own automated systems that make it look like they're using the AI so that they don't have to use the piece of shit software that is being forced on them. AI is a good solution for the upcoming population decline. We don't actually have a overall population decline. Kahaz, part of the harm is literally on the screen right now. Oh, you guys are looking at overhead. Sorry. Part of the harm is on the screen right now. It literally harms people's thought process. It makes it so they're not using their brain as much, and so they don't think as much. Their brain doesn't work as well as it was. Like, you can get back to where you were, but it does take work. If the US was using the Chinese model, it would be a lot better. Yeah. People are literally doing what Joe over on Twitch says, where they're just using AI to get the solution instead of actually learning, processing, thinking. We saw the same thing on a much lower scale with calculators. When calculators came out, over time, we saw people were not able to think about math in the same way. They weren't able to process equations as they had been in the past. We see a similar decline with AI, but AI is so expansive that it's covering more of an area and causing more harm. Yeah. No, anytime anyone asks me what the actual solution is, what are some things that we can do, I always point to how China has been going about it. Yeah. There we go. You guys might be able to hear the low rumble of a fan in the background, but it is so warm today. Yeah. For the Chinese model, they were limited by what hardware they could use because the US has embargoes on China. And so they had to use what they could get. And that meant they had to use a more a less robust system to put their AI on, to train it and things like that. And so they had to be more picky and they had to work more to get it to be as optimized in that realm as possible. And so as they expand it to more and more data centers, as they build out more and more infrastructure, it doesn't use as much, doesn't do as much harm. And also, China has regulations on data centers better than the US does. Explain greed for LLMs. What is the biggest driving factor in the US for AI usage? Companies trying to save money and fire employees. And then most of the big companies that are invested in AI are doing it for greed purposes. The reason a massive data center is being proposed in Utah, the biggest data center, is because of greed. Directly doing harm to an area for money, for profit. It's literally like the storyline of most Old West movies. Big rich dude comes into town and tells the people who live in the West, oh, well, I'm just going to make you all so profitable. You guys are never going to have to work again because I'm going to build this thing here and it's going to make you all money. And it just screws over all the people of that town. It's literally the plot of so many Westerns. How does it damage the brain? Literally because you're not thinking as much. You're offloading your actual cognitive thought process onto a computer and having it think for you. So your brain isn't actively working as much anymore. And we know from science and experiments and testing that the less you actively use your brain to do things, the less you're able to use your brain to do things. You have to exercise your brain so that it is actually able to do stuff. It's why if you like read constantly, like every day you're reading a book, and then the next year you decide to go months without reading, and then you pick up a book, you are slower at reading and processing that information. I don't hate AI. I hate what the US does with AI. That just means reading is obsolete. I, I don't think I've ever heard a worse take. I need to sit down. Because that most people who work in a professional field read. Like, there's words on the screen. A decent chunk of my job is reading like studies and things like that to find out if what like I think is actually true or if I need to change my opinion. Because I base my opinion off of facts. That's why I look through studies. So you're basing it off of people who are blue collar workers and saying that reading is obsolete because you think blue collar workers don't read. My partner is a blue collar worker. I'm using their Kindle account. They bought me that book. I don't think you realize that your analogy was misspelled and doesn't actually make sense when you read it. I think you just have a terrible take. And you're trying to justify that terrible take. I mean, heck, to even interact with large language models, you have to read. I that astounds me that people think like that. I mean, or don't think. I don't think I can consider that thinking. Exactly. Prompt need word. Yeah, just let the AI do it. That'll solve all the problems. I like that response. That was funny. I can't tell if you meant that to be a funny joke, or if you genuinely think AI isn't harmful, but still. Oh, like, I don't get, I don't understand the lack of thought process so many people have Okay, I need to move this way. It's gonna be denser rock. Ah! I also need to wipe my glasses. Oh my gosh, there's a smudge directly in my field of view. Oh crap, I'm gonna I need to find help. Let's just do that and run away. Oh, the big guy spawned. Okay. No, I don't think companies that don't use AI will be left behind. I like that's always been a marketing argument in favor of AI, but when it comes down to brass tacks, it's not true. There are plenty of examples of companies like that work in tech that would be phenomenal for AI, but you don't actually see the growth metrics that would be like stating you'll be behind. Like AI can assist someone and help boost their productivity, but that doesn't mean that everyone will be boosted by AI. LLMs are harmful. I can show you examples of studies that show that LLMs are harmful, especially how the US is doing LLMs. Yeah, LLMs are definitely greed driven right now. I really like that addition onto the um stuff that's on the label. Here's an example showing why LLMs are harmful. You feel like that's even more important. What? Yeah, there's some phenomenal tools out there, and I'm loving some of the tools that are being created, but at the same time, I don't like the methods in which they're being created. Like, at every level, I can find massive harm because of LLMs and AI. It's just, it depends on what you're looking for in the harm. A lot of people will write off a lot of the harm because they think, oh, it's a good trade off. We're doing more good because of AI, when actually we're not. The majority of the AI usage is chatbots, memes, and people who are really lonely and so need someone to flirt with online, but they decide to use a chatbot. Yeah, like the entire time AI has been around, I've always tried to find the ethical ways of using it, the best examples of it being used in an appropriate way. It's why when like large language models were first a thing, I first started using Bing because it actually showed you sources for what it was stating. I moved over to Google Gemini and then I got sponsored by Google Gemini. Got to go to New York City because of it. Yeah. I'm someone who likes AI enough that I got to go to New York City to be a part of Google's event. But no, I have this bias against AI, and I apparently lost my job from AI, according to some people, even though I work for myself. So apparently I fired myself to replace myself with AI at my business in a job where most of the time I'm fixing hardware issues on computers, physically opening them up. Who knows what AI model I was using to replace my job? But apparently that's what happened, according to people. Oh my god, imagine if chatbot chats got leaked with like very lonely people. Oh, make sure to mark this as opinion, not factual. I have the literal science on screen showing that it's a fact. Why am I fixated on the small percentage of users that conversate with AI? Jacob, can you give me actual metrics to show that it's small numbers? I would love to see your stats backing up what you said. Yeah, Joe, I would honestly, I don't think it's common sense that like people's cognitive ability diminishes because of using AI. But if you think about it for even a second or two, like the logic is fully sound. Like it's just that a lot of people don't think through it. A study done on something does not make your opinions facts, but all right. I can cite multiple studies that back each other up and show that it is harmful. I can show the harm to the degree of the damage the data centers do to the local ecology and to the local people. If we're not allowed to use studies and like, okay, what makes something a fact? This has to be cope. Cope for what, Jacob? Also, where is your statistic that the amount of people using AI chatbots just for chatting is small? Someone just hopped in and said all of these things are a all the things on the screen are a net positive? Yeah, people are literally trying to justify AI in data centers. How many of those data centers belong to AI companies? The big data center boom is directly because of AI. March of this year, we had, I think it was 3,052 data centers in the US. By March of next year, we are projected to be increasing that amount of data centers by 1,500. So, yes, it's because of AI. Would there be a more sustainable way to advance AI? Yes, if we used closer to what China has been doing with AI. Their method is a lot more sustainable and a lot more regulated on how data centers are built, where data centers are built, the actual effects that they can have on the ecology of the area and the people who live there. Like, there's examples of like how this can be done better. Yes, AI has the least amount of data centers out of all data companies currently, but the projected growth of data centers is due to AI. Stealth and glitter, like, what the fuck? Like, you can't be this ignorant. You do realize the biggest data center campus that's projected to be built in the US is for AI, right? The big Kevin O'Leary data center is for AI, and it's bigger than any other data center that's been built. Like, no, but it's not for AI, guys. It's going to be an Amazon Web Service data center. Even though that's not. Yeah, the reason they are making more is for AI, but the current reasons aren't. Did you literally say the reason is because of AI, but the reason isn't for AI? Like, oh, like, genuinely. Oh my fucking god. That I'm not even going to bother with you anymore because you're doing the thing that drives me insane. You've created the argument in your head, and instead of basing it off of the things I say and asking me questions, you're going off of this version in your head and debating that. And so I have to try to piece together the fake version you've created of me in your head. And it's just a waste of my time. Like, that's honestly, it's the one thing that's driven me nuts about talking about like large language models at all is the amount of people who create a fake version in their head, then start debating that version, that person. And I have to try to keep up with that. And then they go, well, you're losing it because you didn't answer this thing that I asked you. And I'm like, that's because you made it up based off of this fake version in your head instead of actually listening to the person that's in front of you. Like, what am I projecting, Jacob? You've been in here constantly debating someone that isn't me. It's a monitor, not a projector. Yeah. Oh, Jacob got muted. Oh, and then unmuted. Yeah, Jacob, because you've been annoying in the comments and doing literally what I already said. I have good moderators that I trust because I can see what they're doing and I see what they do it because of. Jacob, instead of being vague, actually tell me what I did that is exactly what you claim. Because you're claiming that I'm doing what I accuse the chat of doing. What is the straw man that I created when talking and replying to the chat with questions? Getting through IT, are we restricting LL? I mean, we should have better regulations on LLMs and we should be going about it on a better footing like China has been doing, so it's not as harmful as we're doing stuff like this. We should remove the greed aspect from it. I would love for the bubble to pop because then AI research usually will go faster and better after that, instead of just being like a product that they try to get money based off of. Soon they will put data centers in space. That's going to be an even bigger waste because data centers generate heat. Do you know what is really hard to get rid of in space? Heat. Data centers also require an absurd amount of power. The solar panels will have to be massive for them to work in space. Like, there are countless videos breaking down how dumb of a statement it was from Elon Musk to say we should put the data centers in space. Yes, the only real way to get rid of heat in space is to radiate it off, which is a very slow process in space. Getting through it. Did you think I was saying that they were going to get rid of the heat through solar pan? How did you not track what I was saying that badly? I was saying there's two separate issues in space: getting rid of the heat and generating the electricity. Okay, class, we're going to do quiet llama time. Because you're not listening, I need you to sit and open your ears like Quiet Llama does. Okay? See how the ears are perked up and they're listening? Yeah, Quiet Llama is going to be perked up and listening to what I say. Yeah, solar panels also create heat. Oh, yay, it's another person in chat now complaining that I'm babbling because I'm talking on a. I'm sorry, guys. Okay. Apparently, I need to do this one. It'll be better this way, apparently. I'm just going to hit the mute button and I'll have a live stream like getting through it. So was that a better live stream? Because I'm no longer talking. No, getting through it, you just missed the fact that I was mentioning two separate issues that come with putting it into space, and you considered it gish galloping. That I talked about the two issues of it going into space. Like, the methodology China has been using has been better for the environment and for people in their country. In the US, we have been trying to put data centers everywhere we could, even if it's harmful. I'm not gish galloping. I'm replying to different people in the chat. Fine. I'm going to start doing it like getting through it wants me to do. I'm only going to be responding to him now, so I'm going to have to ignore every other comment until my discussion with specifically him is over. What have they been doing in China? China has an embargo from the US that prevents them from getting higher quality GPUs that can help them with creating AI. The US has had these embargoes for a while. So China has had to use inferior equipment and be limited by that equipment. So when they've been doing research, it's been going off of lower power, lower requirement equipment. So that way it's not as much of a drain on their electrical grid. It's not causing as much heat output. And it means that it is actually more refined and works better than the US models on lower tier equipment. I mean, heck, when DeepSeek first came out and like everyone was raving over it, you could run it on a Raspberry Pi, which you couldn't do with any US models at that point that were any of the big models. There were probably like home-based models you could do on similar equipment to a Raspberry Pi. DeepSeek was kind of revolutionary in that aspect, especially because you were even able to do it with their R1 technology, which made it so it was actually talking to itself back and forth, which the US models were not doing at that time. It actually made it more like human thought. China also has more actual restrictions and are willing to put laws in place to protect their citizens from data center creep. In the US, we've just been going, put a data center anywhere you want. It doesn't matter ecological disaster or anything like that. Just look at what's going on in Utah with Kevin O'Leary. Yeah, and that's kind of what I figured getting through it. You're not actually listening to me. You're reading through the comments. Hence why you missed the fact that I was saying that solar panels would be generating the electricity for the data centers in space and they would have to be massive. And you took it as solar panels don't get rid of heat. It's a waste of my time. More concerned about your retirement accounts going up and up. Okay, that's fantastic. If there's no world left for you to retire in. No, the data centers are adding to the ecological disasters that are already happening. Like again, I point to Utah where the Great Salt Lake has literally been drying up and there are efforts to try to save the Great Salt Lake, but putting the biggest data center campus that the US has right next to the Great Salt Lake, causing more heat in that area, will dry it up faster. When that lake is gone, that means heat levels increase even more. What do you think my perspective is, Fire Army? I want to eat my Taco Bell. That's actually a really good way to put it. Over on YouTube, data centers are like a big tree that suck up all the water through a straw. Yeah, no, like heat isn't necessarily a no-no if you actually do it in a decent way. If you're actually doing it in an area that can handle heat going up, and if you disperse it better, then it's not actually that bad of a thing. You can also use it to, like, if you build a data center underneath a building that needs to be heated, there you go. The reason I say that is because there's a company here in Utah that did it. Fairly big one called Adobe. Radioactive heat transfer is also incredibly slow, so trying to cool off servers in space through radiating heat, super slow and not that useful. Yeah, there are places you can build data centers. Like, underground is a place you can build data centers if you actually have a decent map of the area and know what is also underground, because then the ground actually dissipates the heat or holds it in. So it's not actually harming the outside area. It just depends on how you build it. What do you mean they will do these things? No one's an expert. AI is very new. Like, okay, so they're going to do these things to make it so AI is not directly harming the area. Yeah, that would be a great thing to say if we don't have dipshits like this that are pushing for the biggest AI data campus in a state that doesn't have water. Utah is net negative on water already. We even have dumb fucks like this talking about how we need to do things quickly instead of being slow. We don't think about the actual ecological disaster that we're causing when we do things quickly. The fact, yeah, the fact that they're also building data centers in Arizona is baffling to me. Who are we in a race against? Who's the competitors in this race? Yeah, the race to self destruction. Okay, you have one more chance to answer the question. Who are we racing against? Who's the competitors in this race? If your next comment is not about that, I'm done with you in my chat because you haven't been engaging. You've just been saying things and trying to act like you got a gotcha, and it's exhausting at this point. Yeah, even the closed loop cooling systems that they keep touting aren't fully closed loop, and they keep flushing out the systems and putting that water into the drinking water supply. At least in some areas. And it comes out really disgusting looking. And you can't get the chemicals that they put in it out of the water. Okay. Yep. I'm just done with you at this point because you saying you asking questions. Well, I'm literally trying to just have a conversation with people, but you're taking it as an argument. I don't need you in my chat. Go scamper off somewhere else to be upset. Because I know that's what you do all day. You just sit there upset and try to find things that get you upset. I don't talk about locally hosted LLMs because they're not the biggest part of the issue. They add to the issue, but okay. At this point, because of how much you have been just arguing this back and forth, even though it's been argued by actual scientists that show that radiating heat from actual data centers in space is not going to actually work that well to a point where it actually makes it viable, I'm just muting you for a little bit because it's exhausting to watch you going back and forth in my comments, not understanding. Yeah, multiple people have tried to get through to the person with getting through in their name, and it's just exhausting to watch them not be able to register what is said to them. See if I can do better this time. Okay, I put you in a short timeout just so you would stop with the BS. I'm putting you in a longer timeout because you didn't actually listen. You just went back to the argument instantly after you could. And I'm exhausted with people who are just like, yeah, who are exhausting. I'm exhausted from people who are exhausting. And I'm also trying to keep up with chat, and it's mostly just people talking to each other. So I'm just like, okay, I will play my game and just sit here next to my statement. What questions do you have about the bubble? I have a few things that I show are why I consider it a bubble. Um, yeah, they're chasing me. I want that Rolly one out of my cave. I made this cave. I don't need anyone rolling around in my cave. Now, if I do this, ah, hey, that actually worked a decent bit. Yes, the flamethrower turret. Okay, let's go stand right here for a second. So the biggest thing that I point to that makes the whole thing look very much like an investment bubble. This is the company Allbirds. Allbirds has been a shoe company for a while. A lot of like famous people have worn their shoes, and that's what they got their brand start from. was famous people wearing their shoes and it getting popular. Allbirds has not been doing that great. Here's like their IPO, and like look at how just not great their stock has been doing. Um yeah, this is all the way back. When did they first open? 2021. That was when they had their IPO. Now if we look at year to date for this year, we can see a massive spike right here. This was when they announced that they would be renting out GPUs, which is against their company, like everything their company stands for, because they want to be sustainable. They want to not be harmful to nature and things like that. Like that's what they stand for. And so when they made this announcement, they also said they would have to talk with their board and get permission to change their company so that it doesn't mind these type of things and can rent out GPUs. They made that announcement and their stock went super decent. I think it went up by 6 times. Over time, it's gone down because they didn't actually follow through with any of that stuff, and they have no signs of actually renting out GPUs. So it's a lot of people investing in something that doesn't actually have value. And we also see that with AI itself, because AI currently is not sustainable. It costs more money than it actually gets in revenue. And so we're literally in a bubble. When you're overinflating the value of something and you're investing in it this hard, and companies are doing stuff like this where they're mainly just investing in each other in a big circle where the money keeps circling around in each other, that that's signs of a bubble. We saw a lot of this stuff over the past few years with tech, like NFTs, blockchain, cryptocurrency in general, like all of that stuff. The company RedNet. What did RedNet do? I've not heard of that company before. If AGI somehow became real, would it be worth it? It depends on what you mean by worth it. Like, there's a line where it's not worth it. There's a line where pretty much anything is not worth it. Oh, really? They started marketing themselves as an AI radiology company? That is funny. Black body emissions in space is slow. Like, the main thing I don't think you're getting about putting a data center in space is it will generate more heat than it expels over time, unless they drastically lower the performance of that data center. Like, yeah, I was literally going to make that same exact example, Maddie. If it was like a Raspberry Pi, yeah, that's fairly easy. Solar panel, probably about as big as this table for a Raspberry Pi, and also having the cooling, probably about half of this table could probably work. The AI story that doesn't add up. Oh, that's funny. I need to read that after stream. Now I have a new article to read about another company that did more AI BS. Yeah, no, I don't get how people don't see the massive issues that are going on with AI in the way that we're going about it in the US. Like, genuinely, I don't get how people aren't seeing those or just don't care. I think it's more that people just don't care because they think in their mind, like, they bought into the promotion that companies have made where they think AI will solve all of our issues. So if we make more issues, AI will just solve it. Like, I've gotten that a lot in my live stream chats when people have been talking about AI. They're just like, well, it doesn't matter that AI is causing all these problems because AI will get to a point where it just solves them all for us. And I'm like, we don't have a guarantee of that. You guys are hoping that it will solve these issues for us, but we don't know if it will or not. And so if we get to the end and AI isn't going to solve these issues for us, what happens then? Like, are we okay with the amount of damage that we're doing? Is it going to be sustainable, the amount of damage we're doing? No, we're just going off of, well, it could possibly help us in the future. It's like the one guy the other day who was saying that it was going to make, like, if we used more and more AI, it was going to make the data centers redundant, and not realizing that there's no point in which these big companies will go, oh, we've finally used enough data center stuff to do this, so it's perfectly fine. We'll just shut off of the data centers now. Yeah, we don't even know if large language models will lead us to a singularity event. There's no actual, like, evidence pointing to it being a sustainable method to get to a singularity. It's just we've heard singularity so much that we now think that this will get us there, even though we have no evidence to helping support that. I don't think I'm going to make it through this level. I've gotten stronger. Yes, go be in the fire. I want you in the fire. They're getting too close. Too close for comfort. This is one of the like the bosses that I really like. It drives me nuts anytime this is the boss I have to face. He's more annoying than, like, even the twins. Honestly, the twins are one of the more annoying enemies to face in this. How will we know if we're at a singularity point? I mean, we used to think we had signs for it, but honestly, like, people have made it so I don't believe we have signs for it anymore because, like, the Turing test, people have destroyed the Turing test already because they've been so hopeful that AI is here that they just don't do the Turing test in a way that actually shows if an AI is thinking or not. They're just like, well, it looks like it's thinking, so it's tricking me. And yeah, the Turing test is not enough anymore. I think because people are just not that bright. Okay, let's see if I can stand here for 45 seconds. Nope. Oh, not 45 seconds. I finally unlocked the thing I wanted. Yes. I want to play some escort duty. Oh, thank you so much for the gift. I don't think there's going to be any more AI discussion today. I'm going to switch it over. Ask me anything tech, everyone. Also, for everyone that is watching, if you want to do me a favor, whatever platform you are on, please like the video. If you're on one of the platforms where if you tap on the screen repeatedly, it likes it, go ahead and do that for a little bit for me. Just tap on the screen repeatedly. It makes it so my metrics go up, and that means more people get to watch this, and I get to answer more questions, and people can actually see this more. If you want to help me out even more, please follow me over on YouTube, because that is the platform I am trying to get to the point where I can earn money on. And I am planning on uploading more stuff onto there as time goes on. I'm currently working on future projects and longer versions of some things for projects. Yeah. I like how I'm mining oil with a pickaxe. That seems like the correct method in which to acquire a liquid. Yes, the fire one. You guys are amazing. I like answering tech questions, and I like the AI conversations because usually I get like a few like decent conversations out of it. Granted, I also get really annoying trolls. Like people who message me in my DMs because they're not a fan of what I say in a live and they don't actually understand what I say, so they just argue with a fake version of me. Or they say ridiculous stuff like that AI data centers will become redundant, not knowing that they will just pack them full of more stuff. Ooh, so much stuff right here. Yep, that's a swarm. Six armor. Put those down. Haha. Yeah, I wanted to do plasma. Look at the little plasma beams coming out. Oh my gosh, it's a snail. Kill the loot snail. Kill the loot snail. Come back here, you little punk. Take my pickaxe. Oh, he's almost gone. He's almost gone. If I just set up right here, and there we go. And now I get to pick up another. Ooh, yeah, XP gain. Higher fire rate on those guys. Perfect. Now let me pick up anything that I missed along the way. Should we be focused on distributed systems more or build computers for... Is that a new, like, term that I haven't heard of before? Because a lot of people have, like, used agent in that way, and like distributed systems are going to be more useful in my opinion, but I don't think are going to be as possible due to said things on the board. Specifically, isn't it the middle one about greed? Like, seriously, greed driven stuff just, it's annoying how bad it is and how many issues it causes. Oh, this is just health. I was hoping for something more, but I can grab the health anyway. Another swarm is incoming. Yeah, I think that I don't like that term. Like, there's some terms that have been coming out for LLMs and AI stuff that I'm just like, we're just trying to shoehorn terms now. Get more damage. Oh, so they're trying to market away from vibe coding to, I'm guessing, like some semblance of agent supported coding and make it not sound as bad. This isn't rat poison. It's tasty, juicy fluid. Like, that's how it feels half the time. Yeah, no matter what, it feels so bad. I am not looking forward to the future where so many things were vibe coded that we've create like just a world where everything's broken. Okay, now I need to go through and light these things up. If I hold still for just long enough, it makes another turret. There we go. That one's active. Now I come up here and let's activate this one. That one's active. Excuse me, coming through, going through here. Gonna get this. That one's active. I made the things explode. Now let me go pick up my chest of this. Okay, that's gonna be that one. I need to get the thing that gives me the um oh, an AI vibe coded lawyer. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's one of the things that they're trying to do. Yes, I want them to seek out enemies. No, vibe coding, like, I don't get how people think it's a good thing. Like, I get using an AI to help you learn stuff. There is good ways to use that. Vibe coding is not it. And so many people go, "Oh, so you don't want people to learn how to program?" And it's like, "No, I don't want them to vibe code. There is a difference. Vibe coding and learning how to code are two different things." Trying to get people to realize that those are two different things, not so easy. Here's a random question for you over on Twitch. Do you use hypervisor stuff? If so, what's your favorite hypervisor to deal with? I use Proxmox. I mean, all of my servers, except for a couple that I've made, run Proxmox. I'll be honest, I like Windows Server Hypervisor. Like it's a decent one. It's easy to understand. It works well. Like, I don't really have complaints about it. Um, but yeah, Proxmox, I absolutely love. I have two servers that are on right now running Proxmox. Um, and usually if I'm like spinning up a system where I'm testing something, usually I'll put Proxmox on the bare metal and then I'll install the system on top of that because then I have snapshots, then I can remotely access it. Like, it gives me so many more tools when I'm working on like weird test things. Yeah, Hyper-V is great for learning the basics. Exactly. Like, it's one of those things, like, there's so many Windows tools that are actually really decent, and you can tell that there was a decent amount of thought and care put into them. Like, one of my favorite tools on Microsoft servers is their server dashboard that you can install on like any system and have it remotely manage that server. And like, you can put in multiple different servers into it, and you can be like, okay, I want to manage this thing, and it'll automatically just bring up the dashboard to manage it on the server that actually has it. Like, it understands. Ooh, I got an achievement. Like, there's things that I don't like about Microsoft and Windows and things like that, but at the same time, I'm like, there's some things I'm just like, you guys did a good job on this. It's my same take with AI. Like, AI could be really harmful and doing all these harmful things that I talk about, but at the same time, I can be like, yeah, there's fantastic tools that are large language models or AI. Like, oh, I'm a diehard Excel fan. Like, when I first learned programming, that's what we first learned how to program in, just so we could get the mentality right of how to program, how to do the logic and everything. Honestly, when you get Excel to do really cool things, it just there's something so satisfying about it. Oh, that makes sense. What do I want? I kind of want to reroll and see. I have one more reroll. Let's see if I get the thing I want. Yes, there it is. That's what I want. That makes it so this whole thing is a drastic game changer because I'm constantly moving. There's so much XP I didn't pick up. And so at the end of the level, I'll have a little thing, a little magnet that I can pick up to get everything. Okay, that's now on the plate. Go up here. Beat that one. Beat that one into submission. I come over here. There's a guy that's going to explode on top of me. That felt nice and lovely. I loved it. Let's just move over here and get this one. Let's see if I can do it before I lose out on the best gift. Yes! I got the top tier. Oh, crap. The magnet landed over here. And the box is on the other side. Let's get the weapon range up. Let's get some armor. Let's get the lightning up. I want that thing higher. And there we go. Yes! Both of my turrets will follow me around now. Okay, now let's just get into the drill and go down. Do I agree with that hacker that says the government wants complete control? I mean, there are some governments that want complete control. I wouldn't put it past the current administration in the US. Um, I mean, that's kind of what it seems like with what they're doing in a lot of ways. They use social engineering to gain the power that they have, and they were patient enough to build it up. And so now they kind of have kind of unchecked power. It's insane. And I just gotta say, I'm a millennial, and I'm kind of tired of living in unprecedented times. I just want to have a stable job. Just want to make enough money to live off of and teach people fun, cool tech things. That's all I want. Oh, and I want to know my partner is safe and secure. So, yeah, it's pretty simple. Yeah, I'm getting close to the 4-0 mark. Oh, that was amazing. With so many explosions. Yeah, I'm gonna have another turret. Extra drones. Okay, what else do I need to do? Mine. Okay. Go up here. Yeah, I'm almost done with stream for today. I knew today's stream might be a little bit lightweight because I did the AI topic. I just need to do the tech topic. The thing I might do a thing where if people want me to do the AI topic, they can pay to have me switch topic. Like give me a certain gift or something like that moving forward. I think that might be a good goal. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts. Yeah, it's been weird to see how much work there has been done to be able to monitor what people do. And just people being like, yeah, no, that's perfectly fine by me. I don't know why we would be up against that. It's like, do you need the countless books telling us that this is a bad thing to do? Because, like, it's an entire genre. It's a genre that even, like, became a young adult genre. Dystopian future. Oh, yeah, no, it's so creepy to, like, see an ad for something you were thinking about and you didn't actually vocalize out loud, but because like you had been looking at things that were related enough, it was able to piece together it should give you this ad. That is a horrifying thing to oh, to see. Sorry, choked on my own spit for a second there. Okay, what does that say? 9, 10. I need to go look at my screen because that is too far away for me to read that tiny print. Okay, that does say meta. Wants me to mine meta, apparently. It's like, is that metal? I don't see an L at the end of it. Also, for anyone that doesn't know, if you want a better view of what I'm playing or what's on the screen, Twitch is horizontal. I'm hoping at some point Twitch will be both horizontal and vertical. I'm just waiting for the invite. Yeah, the surveillance stuff, especially like Flock, that one horrifies me like none other, especially with how flawed our law enforcement system is in the US. Like the amount of issues that have come up due to Flock, like arresting people that are in other states who weren't in the state when the crime was committed. Like Flock is one of those that genuinely horrifies me. Like it's just so bad. Like how do we think that Flock is a good thing? Like the Amazon ad where they're just like, it could help us find a puppy. Yay! And it's just like, yeah, well, we sell off all of our freedom. Boo. Oh shit, am I on the final level of this one? Oh, it is the egg there. Okay, I gotta go get some oil so it can crack the egg. I did not realize I was on the last level. I need to go get some of that XP from back there. Okay, I'm currently at 6. Is it talking about one of these? Yes, it's talking about those. I don't think I'll be able to have enough of those before the end of the level. Yes, more HP. That'll help. Look at all those turrets just running around. This is honestly, this is one of my favorite games of all time. Anyone did not know. There's a flying boy. There we go. The aliens are growing stronger. I mean, technically, I'm on their planet, so I'm the alien. Ah, there's so many. Let's get that weapon range up. Yeah, it genuinely says the aliens are growing stronger, even though I'm the alien on this planet. I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole. They're going to bite me. They're going to bite me. Okay. Gotta go. Oh, that's more enemies. That's more enemies. There's less enemies this way. Oh, but there's so many eggs. I just released so many enemies. Okay, just gonna do circles for a little bit. My turrets can help a little bit. The aliens are gonna eat me. They're biting my ankles. Okay, there's two of them gone. Let's go down to the other one. Stop biting my ankles. I need my ankles. Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can survive this. Outlook not so good. Especially as I come up to Exploding Boys now. Okay, I think I'm calling it there for stream for today. I will be live again on Tuesday, for anyone wondering. If you did not know, I go live at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday on every platform I can, including Instagram now. I'm live on Instagram because I've been doing pretty good numbers on Instagram. Thank you guys for joining me. If you want to help support my channel, you can do me a favor. Go to YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, any of my social profiles. You can find them in my link, thebeardeditguy.com, and follow me there because that helps out a ton. The more numbers I have on each platform, the more I can actually do. And the happier my manager gets because my manager goes, ooh, big numbers. Yay, we can get you more things. And make it so your life is actually sustainable. That's the goal. I will see you guys later. Bye, everyone on TikTok. You guys are the first ones to go offline. Bye. You guys are amazing. Thank you guys for so many gifts. And then everyone on Twitch and YouTube, you guys are fabulous and fantastic. Thank you for all of your chat and support. I will see you guys later.